It looks it is not a self at all. So investigation is needed. Just like we say, the earth is flat. That's our experience. Investigation shows it is round. Similarly, other truths in science. What appears is not what is there. Similarly, here also, investigation will reveal what is my true nature. Then comes a wonderful verse. This occurs also in the Mahabharata. Verse 76. When we are attached to these 5 sense organs and the 5 sense objects, we perish. We cannot rise higher. And 5 examples are given. Each example showing that due to attachment to one sense organ, that species suffer. That is a story told in this particular verse. Shabdadipi panchapireva pancha panchatvamapu sugunena baddhaha Viranga matanga patanga meena bringanara panchapir anchitakim. 5 what you call entities are taken as example here. Kuranga, he says. What are they? The deer. Matanga, the elephant. Patanga, the moth. Meena, the fish. And the bringa, the black bee. These 5 examples are taken. Each one has perished by attachment to one sense organ. And what to speak of man attached to all the 5 sense organs. That is the language he has used there. Story is Shabdadipi, Shabda, Sparsha, Rapa, Rasa, Gandha, etc. Shabda is the deer. Deer is standing with eyes cocked like this, completely oblivious to the world around. By that time, the hunter comes and shoots him. Attachment to one sense organ brings about its death. That is Shabda. Next is Sparsha, elephant. In Kerala and other Bihar and all that, they catch wild elephants by sending a female elephant into the forest, and this female elephant goes and touches a male elephant, then he forgets the whole world, and people come and put chains on his feet automatically. He is not there to struggle at all. Shabda Sparsha. Then Rupa, the moth. When you light a fire, the moth will rush into it and perish in it, attached to that fire. You have seen it every day in the rainy season. Shabda Sparsha Rupa. Then Rasa. You catch fish only through such taste. Puts a bait, the fish comes, catches, and you catch it. Attachment to taste. Finally comes Gandha, the bee, attracted by the flower and the scent of the flower. It goes, enters it, and caught in it, and the flower closes, and it is killed there also. So these are the 5. Shabdadipi panchapireva pancha. 5 entities. By attachment to each of these sense organs, panchatvamapuhu became 5, means it died. Meaning, panchatva means you reduce to the 5 elements. That's a technical term. Panchatvamapuhu means they died, got destroyed. So gunena baddhaha, tied by its own guna. Guna means quality, and guna also means rope. So it is tied by its own quality, means Shabda tied me, I died. Similarly, other things tied the fish, it died. So gunena baddhaha. What are they? Kuranga, Matanga, Padanga, Meena, Bringa. These 5. Then comes an exclamation. Nara Panjabiranchita Kim. What to speak of man when he is tied to all the 5? You can imagine his condition. That is how you can see, whenever this kind of situation comes, there must be more crime, more delinquency, more robbery, everything. All these arise from this particular level. So we must know to discriminate these two. People do not know this truth. I'm just fascinated. I do some mischief, something wrong. This happens. Delusion. Then I am caught, put in the jail, life sentence. We just murder each other. Then finally life sentence. Then there you come. What has happened to me? It's too late now. I have done it because of want of discrimination between the self and the not-self. That's the beginning of this investigation. Doshena tivro vishayaha Krishna sattva vishadapi Visham dihanti Drashtaram Bhoktaram Drashtaram Chakshusapyayam. This sensory system of the world around us, which attracts us all the time, we have to have a lot of discipline within. If not, we shall suffer. What kind of suffering? This sensory world can destroy us more than a cobra destroying with its poison. Poison you have to inject into the system, whereas this poison is so dangerous, looking at it alone is enough to destroy us. That's the nature of this sensory system. You can see, as I told you, theft in these super bazaars, only by attraction of a particular beautiful object. I feel tempted to steal it. Because of that, just pulls me. I've only seen it. Whereas a Krishna Sarpa must bite me to kill me. This is seeing also, it kills me. We can see it everyday experience, plenty. Therefore, the sloka said, sense objects are more dangerous than the poison of a king cobra. Poison has to be injected into you. Whereas here, simply look at it, you are caught. You are caught automatically. Vishayasha mahapasho prasad yo vimukta sudustyaja seva kalpyate muktye nanya shat shastra vedyapi. Those who have freed themselves from this infatuation. It is not that we have to destroy the sense of objects. No. Infatuation must go. That's word infatuation is used here. Vishayasha mahapasha yo vimukta sudustyaja. So difficult to get rid of this pasha, this bondage. But those who have got rid of it, sayeva kalpyate muktye. He alone is fit for freedom. Freedom as a citizen. Freedom as a man. Freedom as a man of spiritual realization. All these freedoms can come only when this mastery has taken place. Mastery is the word here. Sayeva kalpyate muktye. Nanya shat shastra vedyapi. And not a mere scholar who knows all the shastras. 6 systems of philosophy, he knows everything. He will not be free. But the man who has controlled this, disciplined this, he alone is free. Mere scholarship has no value in this particular field. Very often, Sri Ramakrishna therefore says, scholars are like kites flying high up in the sky. They have not developed this discrimination. And so like a kite, though high up in the sky, his eyes are always fixed on the dead bodies below. That's the nature of mere scholarship. Scholarship plus discrimination is highly commendable. Mere scholarship has no meaning. We can see big scholars and professors today doing all sorts of mean things all over India today. Knowledge is there. Something is missing. Discrimination is missing. That moral and ethical value system is missing. So they can do everything, every wicked deed we can do today, in spite of all the scholarship in science, in politics, economics, everything. Why? This little thing is lacking. Viveka is lacking. Atmanatma Viveka is lacking, he says. Apata vairagyavato mumukshun bhavabdhiparam pratiyatumudyatan ashagraho majjayate antarale nigrihya kanthe vinivartya vega. A man who has got only a very mild type of renunciation, very little. Apata means an appearance of renunciation, that's all. And yet, he is a seeker of freedom. What is his fate? He wants to cross this ocean of worldliness. But when he is crossing, there is a crocodile below. That's called crocodile of attachment. He will catch hold of his neck and pull him down and destroy him there. Apara vairagyavato mumukshun bhavabdhiparam pratyatum udyatan. He is engaged in crossing this ocean of worldliness, ocean of relativity. Ashagraho, that asha, inordinate desire in us, is compared to a graha, means a crocodile, a sort of this shark. Majjayate antarale, he's just drowned, taken and drowned into the waters. Nigrihya kante, catching hold of the neck. Vinivartya vega, quickly into the current, he is taken, it is killed. That's why we have, that strength must be there to resist all this, a little spiritual strength. As I said, when we speak of corruption, bribery, somebody brings a bribe. I must have the strength to say no. That strength is not physical or intellectual. It is a moral, ethical, spiritual strength. That strength very few people have. Therefore, we are in trouble. But that strength must come if the country is to progress. There is no other way. Because when too much of corruption comes, the poor people who need all our help, they don't get any help at all. We send water to the field. On the way, the rat holes drink all the water. Nothing reaches the field. Because man is like that. So many rat holes are here. So this discrimination is absolutely essential if character is to come. If somebody is to put a money in my hand as a security, I must have character that I don't swallow it myself. I will return it back to him. That character is lacking in millions of people today. This knowledge is lacking, therefore the character is lacking. So apata vairagyavato mumukshun bhavabdhiparam pratyatum udyatan ashagraho. This says, Majjete antarale nigrihya kanthe vinivarte vegat. On the contrary, Vishayakhya graho yena suviraktasina hataha sagachari bhavambodhe param pratyuha vajjitaha. On the contrary, whoever has conquered this asha, this kind of greed and desire, which take us away from the right path, just like killing that shark with a sharp sword of discrimination. Vishayakhya graho yena suvirakti asina hataha. Asi means a sword. Suvirakti means good spirit of detachment. You have killed that shark. Then you can easily swim. You won't get difficulty here. Sak gacchati bhavambodhe param. He alone crosses the ocean of worldliness. Samsara saga, as we call it. Pratyuha varjitaha. Free from all obstacles. No further obstacles will come. This attachment to the body creates all the trouble. I want everything to myself, or to myself and those who are related to me. That's called nepotism in social language, political language. Anybody related to me, I'm interested in, not the other people. That's all genetic limitation. Mind is controlled by the genetic system. So he compares it to that shark. It catches hold of the neck, pulls you down. Today there are so many sharks pulling so many people down because this knowledge has not come. We only want our own advancement and those who are closely related. We don't care for anybody else. Somebody wrote in English a prayer which most people recite mentally, though few verbally. But a verbal expression of a mental prayer is what is contained there. Oh Lord, we say, save me and my wife, his son John and his wife, us four and no more. I'm not interested in anybody else. That is called this Vishayakya Graho Yena. Suvirak Tasina Hatha. Destroy it. This genetic limitation, destroy. It's a tremendous truth coming from neurology. As I told you, this cerebral system is meant to give us freedom. But we use it just to retain this body for survival, for organic satisfaction, using such a tremendous instrument for a petty purpose. For this petty purpose, the old brain is quite enough. New brain is not needed for it. That's the language of neurology today. Let this be detached from that older brain and its attractions. Then it can guide the rest of the body. That guidance can come from the cerebral system only when it is detached from the rest of the body. That makes it buddhi in Sanskrit language. Reason, enlightened reason. When reason comes, things become beautiful. I can think. I can discriminate. That person has as much right to exist as I am. This student has got better marks. I must take him for scholarship. This knowledge can come only at that time, when I become detached from this single genetic system. This country is getting ruined by this genetic limitation. All nepotism, everything comes from that. We can improve this country only when we improve ourselves. We raise our mind to a little higher level, the citizen level. That man is not genetically related to me, but he is my fellow citizen. He may be from Mizoram or Nagaland, Kashmir, but we are all part of this wonderful state called India. This takes you beyond genetic limitation. That is one great development that must come for us in this country. If we want to enjoy this freedom, advance it in all directions. So he says, Vishayakhya graho yena suvirakti asina hatahasi language. Asi, sword. Virakti, detachment. Suvirakti, good detachment. Hataha, you kill it. Sagachati bhavambodhe para. He crosses this ocean of worldliness. Pratyuha varjitaha. No more obstructions for him. This is the only obstruction. Once you are released from genetic limitation, attachments and blindness, you become expansive. Your sympathies widen. Your love and compassion widen. Something great happens to you. You start on the road of your own greatness. That is the greatness of man. Animals cannot go beyond genetic limitation. A cow will lick every one of his calf. When another calf comes, he will give a good hit. Get away. I don't want you here. Man repeats the same thing in spite of having a cerebral system which is 3 times bigger than a chimpanzee, according to neurology. Our cerebral system is 3 times bigger or 4 times bigger than the chimpanzee. But most of it is unused as a language today. I am quoting neurology. Most of the cerebral system is unused. We don't know what to use for it. We know the old brain, never know the new brain. I used to make fun, therefore. People do not think, who do not discriminate. They are like the houses during wartime in Delhi and other places, written there, upstairs to let. So the whole upstairs to let. I have no function for it. Defunct, as we call it. Thinking makes all the difference. Discrimination makes all the difference. It's called Viveka, means that. Viveki, man alone is Viveki. Animals have no Viveka. A child has no Viveka. From the age of 3 and 4, it starts a little practice of Viveka. And that can be extended. The whole subject is Viveka, therefore, so that man can become man in the true sense of the term, not merely in appearance. In Sanskrit, we call it Manushya Rupena Mrigascharanti. So many beasts. But body is man. Inside is a beast only, where no discrimination. That's why Viveka is highly commended to make us men in the true sense of the term. Here is a wonderful verse 80 of the VIVEKACHUDAMANI. Vishyakhya graho yena subiratyasina hataha sarachati bhavambodhe param pratyoha varjitaha. Those who have killed this crocodile of extreme sensory attractions with the sword of complete detachment, he crosses over the ocean of worldliness and reaches freedom, spiritual liberation. That was the last verse. Then we continue. 81. Vishama Vishayamargayehi Gacchato Anachabuddhehi Pratipadav Abhiyato Mrityurapyesha Vidhi Hitasujana Suruptya Gacchata Swasya Yuktya Prabhavati Phalasiddhi Satyamityesha Vidhi. Please know this to be true. Satyamityesha Vidhi. What is that? Vishama Vishayamargayir Gacchato Anachabuddhehi. To that impure mind that follows in the way of sensory attractions without any discrimination. Constantly he will be facing spiritual death again and again. Death is used here, not physical death. That is not at all very important so far as man is concerned. There is such a thing as a spiritual death. Just like we say in English, man has a sense of honor. If that honor is affected, you would prefer to die. Men of honor, if that is affected, they don't like to live physically. In English, therefore, we say death before dishonor. Similarly, this kind of life, slavish, without inner freedom, it is death. That spiritual death is what is referred to mrityu here. But on the other hand, hita sujana guruptya gacchata swasya yuktya. Those who move in this world under the guidance and advice of good people and by one's own reason, gacchata swasya yuktya, exercising one's own understanding, discrimination and reason, prabhavati phalasiddhi. To them, the fruit is bound to come by way of spiritual freedom, spiritual realization. Know this to be true. Satyamityesha vidhi. Mokshasya kamsha yadi vaitavasti tyaja atidurat vishayan visham yatha piyoshavat toshadaya kshamadjava prashanti dantirbhaja nityam adarat. If you have really desired to be free, and remember, freedom is a spiritual quality. We always forget this. Freedom is a spiritual quality, a state of one's inner mind and state of one's inner life. That is real freedom. I am free to be able to say you need a lot of inner development. If that is your objective, mokshasya kamsha yadi vaitavasti tyaja atidurat vishayan visham yatha. Infatuation of the sensory system and sense objects, forsake it from a long distance. Once this infatuation comes, your freedom is imperiled. This is a simple truth that civilization teaches again and again. And then this is what is called renouncing infatuation. But cultivate positive virtues. And what are they? First comes Piyushavat, just like nectar. Try to cultivate these virtues. Tosha, joy, a cheerful, joyous attitude. Tosha. Then Kshama, Daya, compassion. Kshama, forbearance. Arjava, straightforwardness. Raju means straight. It's beautiful. Kutila means crooked. These are two words often used, Raju and Kutila. The mind that is Raju, the mind that is Kutila. You can easily make out what a difference it makes in interhuman relationships. When you deal with a straight man, when you deal with a crooked man, you are in great difficulty there. So cultivate this straightforward mind. Prashantihi, great tranquility within. Danti, perfect self-control. Adarad nityam, constantly, with great attention, cultivate these beautiful virtues all the time. That is how character is developed. And a man of character is a great force. Anukshanam yat parhirtyandityam krityam anadyavadya krita bandhamokshanam dehat parartho ayam amushya poshane yas sajjate saswam anena hanti. This. Anukshanam yat parihrityam, what should be constantly given up all the time. What is that? Anadyavidya krita bandha mokshanam. It says, this bondage arising from anadi avidya, ignorance, beginningless. When did my ignorance begin, you ask? Vedanta says beginningless. Look backwards, yesterday, day for yesterday, it was there. It was there. This kind of bondage, this ignorance, has been there. We call it anadi. In time, you can't find a beginning for it. Just like in dream, when you ask the question, when does this dream begin? Dream is beginningless to the dreamer. Only to the waking man it has an end. Similarly, this ignorance is beginningless, but it has an end. That will come later on. A beginningless thing can have an end. That will come later on in this very great book. Anadyavidyagrata bandhamokshanam says, this freedom from anadyavidya bandha, bondage of beginningless spiritual blindness. Ignorance means spiritual blindness, that I am the Atman, that I am the spirit, we do not know. And the body, I am subject to this and that we all know. This is beginningless. Deha parartho, this body, as soon as my life is over, what happens to this? It becomes a home for worms in all sorts of animals, etc. It has no self-existence at the time. I am amushya poshane yas sajjate. Whoever is deeply attached to taking care of this body, saswam anena hanti. He gets death through that very process, spiritual death. Too much attachment to the body brings spiritual death. I can't love the other body. I exploit the other body. I want this only. That is spiritual death. That is a type of cowardice which we see in worldly life. So what Shakespeare said is true here. Cowards die many times in their life, but a valiant taste of death but once. That cowardice is there when too much attachment to the body will be there. I want to protect it. I am prepared to leave wife, children, all and run away to protect myself. That kind of cowardice is condemned in all high literature. Sharira poshanarthi san ya atmanam dudrikshati graham darudhiya trutva nadim gatartum sa ichchati gasagachati. Whoever wants to realize the Atman and yet become attached to the body and try to make it fine all the time, he is like a person who is wanting to cross this river. He found a crocodile floating there, mistook it for a piece of wood, sat on it and went across. You can imagine his fate. That's what we do with attachment to the body and taking all care of it all the time. We try to achieve freedom. He will be drowned in the course of that by this crocodile of the body. Graham darudhiya dhrutva. nadim tartum sagacchati. Moha eva mahamrityu. Mumukshor vapuradishu. Moho vinirchito yena. Sa mukti badam arhati. For every seeker of liberation, this infatuation and delusion with regard to the body is simply great death, great destruction. Once you overcome this infatuation, you are sure to reach step by step to the highest spiritual liberation. This is a beautiful idea. Attachment to the body. All these evils in society come from this one attachment. A little detachment from it, beautiful virtues begin to come in the person. Moho vinirjito yena. This delusion must go. That can go only through knowledge. And this knowledge is being imparted in this book. Moham jahi mahamrityum putradara dehadara sudadisho yam jitva maniyo yanti tad vishno paramam padam. Therefore, moham jahi mahamrityum. This great death, known as infatuation, delusion, conquer it. Jahi, conquer it. Dehadara sudadishu. The body, to respect the body and things related to the body. Wife, husband, children, that genetic relationship which we are completely imprisoned in it. Try to break this prison. Have the capacity to love other people. A wide appreciation of other people. Capacity to dig affections in other people. A spiritual expansion takes place thereby. That is absolutely essential for human spiritual growth. Moham jahi mahamrityum dehadara sutadisho yam jitva munayo yanti tat vishno paramam padam. When you overcome this infatuation, sages have achieved the highest spiritual realization, the state of Vishnu, the holy feet of Vishnu, and you also can do. Munayo yanti tat vishno paramam padam. This is a passage from the Kathopanishad. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam, the supreme state of Vishnu. Tvang Mam Saduthiras Nayo Medo Majjastya Sankulam Purnam Mutraparishabhyam Sthulam Nindyamidam Vapuhu. This Sthula Sharira, taken by itself, without anything else coming to it, it is full of dirt and evil and nothing else by itself. We can make it brighter by bringing in the energy of prana, mind, and the spirituality within. Then the body changes. But as it is of this nature. It is thulam, gross body, nindyamidam, to be rejected, not at all to be embraced. That's the nature of this body when you know the truth about it. This gross body. Panchikritebhyo bhutebhyo sthulebhya purvakarmana samutpannam idam sthulam bhogayatanam atmanah avastha jagarastasya sthularthanubhavo yataha. Now comes a little reference to the three states of waking, dream, and sleep, which is a profound study in Vedanta. Modern psychology in the West started becoming depth psychology when Freud started studying the dream. Till then it was only the waking state. All rationalism, enlightenment, everything was based on the flimsiest of bases, namely the waking state. That philosophy, shallow, got a shock from Freudian psychology, which is called depth psychology, just studying the dream, the subconscious, the preconscious, and finally the unconscious. This is what happened in India ages ago. But we didn't stop with the dream. We went deeper into the deep sleep state. And out of this study, through investigation of the three states, the avasthatraya prakriya, as Shankaracharya puts it, the methodology of the three states, they discovered the immortal Atman behind all these changing bodies and egos of waking and dream, and the absence of all ego in the sleep state. They discovered the Turiya, the infinite Atman, ever free, ever pure, and proclaimed that truth from the housetops. You are essentially the Atman. That is your true nature. A little investigation is needed for it. This book is trying to help us in this great investigation. The Mandukya Upanishad and Gaurabada's Karika on it, Shankaracharya's commentary on it. That book is the outstanding book dealing with this avasthatraya prakriya. Here is just in the indication. It will come a little later in still more detail. It says, Panchikritebhyo bhutebhya thulebhya purvakarmana. The gross elements of the external world, they combine together to produce the gross body which is mine. And this is done impelled by my past karma and samskaras. That is a profound teaching which modern genetics do not accept yet. Though a man like Thomas Huxley in the last century said that science has no objection against the theory of reincarnation. And Julian Huxley, the great biologist who died 7 years ago, he in his letter to me told that science has no objection to survival of the soul at death, but we don't accept reincarnation. That's what he said. And I replied to him that it doesn't militate against reincarnation when you understand how Vedanta handles the subject, that there is a Sukshma Sharira apart from the Sthula Sharira. That Sukshma Sharira consists of all the samskaras, vasanas, tendencies, impressions of life. It is that Sukshma Sharira that manufactures my new body when this body goes away. So that from that point of what you call conception, the little life started evolving in the womb. It develops in a particular direction. A particular samskara finds manifested there. All this makes for that new human individual. He had a past. That past is determining the present. So that's called purva karmana. That is what you call an element that has not been accepted in genetic science today. But I am sure when the science goes deeper and deeper, all physical and chemical basis of life will remain, like RNA, DNA, everything will remain. But the force that brings them to this kind of a new development as a particular individual, that force must be reckoned with. That's what we call samskara, the past impressions slowly working. Even now, it is my unconscious mind that builds up my body. All my red cells are being formed by myself. That mind, which is in a subconscious condition, unconscious condition. The conscious mind handles this world outside, only the waking world. Therefore, this Sthula Sharira presides over this Sthula universe, this gross universe. And this is not the only dimension of reality. This world also has a deeper dimension. And this individuality also has a deeper dimension. We are going to study man in depth, as physical science studied the world in depth, or physical nature in depth. This ego is enjoying this physical world through the waking state. That's called Jagrata Avastha, the Sthula individual. As we are all today, that's a Sthula individual. But behind it, there's a Sukshma dimension. That will be told later on. After a few more verses, the book will deal with Sukshma Sharira. What is that Sukshma Sharira? It is a wonderful study. Subtle body. This is gross body. Bahendriyaihi Thulapadartha Sevam Srachandanastriyadi Vichitra Rupam Karodi Jiva Swayam Etadatmana Tasmat Prashasti Vapusho Asya Jagare Asya Vapusho Prashastihi Jagare. This body shines only in the waking state. It has no function after the waking state. So in the waking state, this Sthula Sharira is prominent. How do we do that? We enjoy this world, its pleasures, its comforts, its quarreling, its fighting, everything we do with the help of this Sthula Sharira. It is prominent in the waking state. And not only the Sthula Sharira, the ego presiding over the Sthula Sharira, that also functions only in the waking state. It has no function once you change this state to some other state. That will be studied later on. Tasmat prasasti vapusho asya jagare. This body has absolutely no status once you change your state. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said, a big Babu, very powerful, fighting with everybody. Then he goes to sleep. and a child spits on his face, he is not there to protest. He is not there. A child can spit on his face when he is asleep. Where is he to protest? He is not there at all. Only the waking state, this Pura Sharira has a function along with the ego presiding over it. Sarvopi bhakya samsaraha purushasya yadashrayah vidhi dehamidam sthulam grihavat grihamedinaha. Beautiful summarization. All external activities that we do are centered in this body. It is the basis for all our gross external activities in our life. Just like a home is for a householder. He lives in that home, that is the base. He goes out, transacts business, comes back home. So also, this body is a base, based on which we conduct all our external activities. Sarvopi bhakya samsaraha. All bhakya samsara activities. Purushasya yadashrayah. The support of all these activities is this body. Which body? Sthulamidam. This gross body. Just like a house is for a householder, is a base for him. If he doesn't get out, always remain there, then becomes a prison. Now he stays there, but he goes out, does his work, returns. That kind of a base is this body. When you understand it that way, then the body won't harm you. We take it as something which encloses me. Then it becomes a prison. Body becomes the tomb of the soul. It becomes a prison. I cannot come out, I cannot go in. That is bad. Use it as a base. As a basis, it is beautiful. As we say, body is a good servant, but a bad master. If body is the master, you are gone. Body is a servant, everything is beautiful. Sthulasya sambhavajara maranani dharmaha thaulyadayo bahuvidha shishutadyavasthaha varnashramadi niyama bodha amayasyuhu pujavamana bhaumana visheshaha. With respect to this gross body, you have so many circumstances affecting it. What are they? Sambhava, it comes to existence. It was not there, now it has come to existence, what is called birth. The body has a birth. Then jara, it grows and becomes old, jaded. Body has this, sambhava, jara. Finally, it disappears, marana, death also. When we shout, as I said in the north, as I said, Ram Nam Satya Hai. What is it? Body is gone. It is going to be cremated now. It has no more existence. Sambhava jara maranadi dharma. All affecting this sthula sharira. Similarly, staulyadayo, fat, lean or middle size, this also affect only the body. These various attributes are attributes of the body. I am fat, I am lean, I am this, I am tall. All that only refer to the body. Bhavida. Similarly, Shishudadi avastaha. I am a shishu, a little baby, no teeth at all. Then I become a young man. Then I become old. Again, all the teeth are gone. All that is there, all referring to the body. Shishudadi avastaha. Similarly, varnashramadi niyama. All these social distinctions based on varnashrama, brahmachari, sannyasi, yes. Or I am a Brahmin or a Kshatriya, Vaishya. Or I am a Westerner or an Easterner. All these are relating to the body. I am a white man, I am a black man. All refer to the body only. In fact, whether the white man or the black man or the brown man or the yellow man, when you go behind the body, even the body itself, you find uniformity, red blood. Everybody has red blood. No white blood. It's only red blood. There are white cells, but red blood is the usual quality of things within the body. So when you study the body, you get this wonderful wisdom. Don't base your judgments of human things on the body. That will be utterly a failure. Even racialism comes from the body system. Genetic system dictating into the human relationship in a wrong way. That's called racial superiority. Racialist policy. Things which Hitler did, for example, based only on this genetic system of the external body. Varnashramadi niyama. Bahudha amayasiho. Also it is the subject of so many diseases, all sorts of troubles. The body is getting only the sthula sharira. Puja, avamana, bahumana, mukha, visheshaha. And also honor, respect, worship, dishonor, everything pertaining to this body. You will pass through it every day. Somebody honors you, puts a garland. As we say in our political language, Today, people shout, so-and-so Zindabad. 5 minutes later, so-and-so Murdabad. Both will go on side by side, all affecting this wonderful Sthula Sharira only. Now, this is the Sthula Sharira. Now, from this verse onward, 92 onwards, we are going a little deeper. The Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. Buddhindriyani, Sravanam Tolakshi, Granam Jajishwa, Vishayavabodhanat, Vatpanipada, Budamat Vivastaha, Karmendriyani, Pavanena Karmasu. We have Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, sense organ, helping us in perceiving the world, knowing the world. Sense organs that help us to deal with the world through action. One is called Jnanendriya, another is called Karmendriya. Each of them 5. Buddhi, that is understanding or reason or intellect. Indriyani, 5 sense organs, that is Shravanam, Tvad, Akshi, Granam, Jihva. These are the 5 sense organs. Eye, ear, nose, and then tongue, as well as skin. These are the 5 organs from which you get knowledge of the world. There is no other way. 5 openings to get the knowledge of the world. Vishayavabodhanat. They give you a knowledge of the Vishaya. Vishaya is a technical term, meaning sense object. You are the subject, the knower. That is an object. So that is called Vishaya, and you are called Vishayi, the technical terms. You are able to know the world. Now this table doesn't know this chair. It has no sensory system. It has not evolved it. Whereas in the case of an animal, even a living cell, a little awareness of the external world, it is there. A minimum sensory apparatus a living cell has. And evolution means this kind of sensory system becoming diversified, made more efficient, until when you come to the human being, a tremendous development has taken place in the sensory system. That is evolution, organic, as we call it in biology. Prananta Jihva, Vishayavabodhana. We are able to understand this world. Though some of the sense organs of man are less developed than of the pre-human species. For example, smell. Pre-human species have better capacity than we have. Even hearing, much better they have. And direction finding, they have much better. Birds flying thousands of miles, exactly going to the same place. How do they keep track of it? It's a big study today in animal biology. That they build a house, a small nest in your house. And in one season they all fly away. Where thousands of miles. And they return exactly at the same time, entering into the house, into that nest. What a wonderful direction finding instrument they have. We don't have it. They have it. So also the smell. Wonderful smell capacity. An elephant can smell a human being. That's why we are asked not to stand in the direction of wind towards the elephant. To stand on the other side, then it will not know you. But human beings have lesser capacity at the sensory level, but higher capacity at this mental and intellectual level. That's why we are able to control all this world and the animals there. Vak pani pada bodhamastu vastaha karmendriyani pravanesh karmasu. Activities we do through the 5 organs of action, hands, feet, etc., etc. These are the 5 organs of action. So 10 sense organs, perception and action, they have been divided. Nigadyate antakaranam manodhi rahangratis chittamiti svritibhi manastu sankalpa vikalpanadibhi buddhi padarthathvaya adhyavasaya dharmataha. What is antakarana? These are all external organs, 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. They are also called karana, means organ or instrument. They are external. They go out all the time. But there is an inner instrument. That's called, we call it very technical language, antakaranam, the mind. The inner organ is called antakaranam. So this psychophysical system has 2 instruments of experience. One, external experience through the sensory system. The other, internal. That internal instrument is known as antakarana. Very precise scientific terminology. Bahyakarana, antakarana. What is this antakarana? Nigadyate antakaranam. This is called antakaranam. What are they? Manas, Dhi, Ahankriti and Chitta. 4 aspects of the antakarana. Functionally different, but only one and the same antakarana. Manas, Ahankara, Buddhi and Chitta. These are the 4 aspects of the antakarana, your inner mind.